What if I told you there's a place where the water literally glows blue when you touch it? Or a beach where you can swim in crystal clear pools formed by ancient volcanic rocks? I just spent 3 weeks exploring every corner of Puerto Rico, and what I discovered will completely change how you think about Caribbean travel. By the end of this video, you'll know about 10 incredible places that most tourists completely miss, including one secret spot that made me question everything I thought I knew about paradise. But here's the crazy part: the most magical place on this list? It's not even a beach. I'm about to show you the real Puerto Rico. Hit that subscribe button if you want to discover hidden gems that will make your friends think you hired a professional photographer for every single photo. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your name, and if you're new here, I travel to find those incredible places that make your jaw drop and your Instagram explode. Today's adventure? Puerto Rico, but not the Puerto Rico you think you know. 3 weeks ago, I landed in San Juan thinking I'd spend a week on typical tourist beaches. But then a local taxi driver named Carlos told me something that changed everything. "Turista, you want to see the real Puerto Rico? The places that will make you cry tears of joy?" Follow me. What happened next led me to discover 10 places so incredible, so magical, that I literally extended my trip twice. And the best part? Most of these cost absolutely nothing to visit. Before we dive in, I want you to be part of this journey. As I reveal each location, drop a comment telling me which one you want to visit most. The person with the most creative comment gets a free 50-page Puerto Rico travel guide that I created just for this video. And if you find value in this video, which I promise you will, smash that like button. It genuinely helps more travelers discover these hidden gems. Let's get started. Location number 10. Flamenco Beach, Culebra. Starting at number 10, and trust me, even our worst spot would be most islands' crown jewel, Flamenco Beach in Culebra. Picture this. You wake up at 5 a.m., catch a ferry that feels like a roller coaster, and just when you're questioning your life choices, you see this. Pure white sand that squeaks under your feet, water so clear you can count fish 20 feet down, and here's the kicker. 2 rusted tanks from military exercises that create the most epic photo backdrop you've ever seen. Pro tip that saved my entire day: bring water shoes. I learned this the hard way when I stepped on a sea urchin trying to get the perfect shot. But even with my bandaged foot, this place is pure magic. Quick question. Have you ever been somewhere so beautiful it didn't feel real? That's Flamenco Beach. Let me know in the comments. Location number 9. Yunque Rainforest. Number 9 will literally take your breath away, and I mean that scientifically. Yunque Rainforest, the only tropical rainforest in the U.S. National Forest System. But here's what nobody tells you about Yunque. There's a hidden waterfall that doesn't appear on any tourist map. I almost missed it completely, until I heard locals whispering about La Cascada Secreta. So there I am, following a barely visible trail, spider webs hitting my face, questioning if I've made a terrible mistake. 30 minutes of jungle hiking later, I hear it, the sound of rushing water. I push through one final wall of vegetation and... holy... freaking... wow! A 60-foot waterfall cascading into a crystal clear pool, surrounded by tropical plants that looked like they belonged in Avatar. The water was so refreshing after that hike, I literally screamed with joy. My camera guy thought I'd lost my mind. Here's exactly how to find it. But be warned, this hike is not for beginners. Wear proper shoes, bring plenty of water, and maybe download an offline map because cell service is spotty. Who else loves discovering secret spots that aren't in guidebooks? Hit that like button if you're already planning your own waterfall adventure. Location number 8. Bioluminescent Mosquito Bay, Vieques. Number 8 is going to sound like I'm making this up, but I have video proof. Mosquito Bay in Vieques, where the water literally glows blue when you disturb it. This isn't some camera trick or special effects. There are microscopic organisms called dinoflagellates that light up when agitated. It's like swimming in liquid starlight, and there are only 5 places on Earth where this phenomenon exists. The night I experienced this changed my entire perspective on nature. We kayaked out at 9 p.m., pitch black, slightly terrifying if I'm honest. But the moment our guide told us to put our hands in the water, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Every movement created these electric blue streaks. It was like having superpowers. But here's the crazy part about this place that I didn't discover until the next morning. It's connected to our next location in a way that will blow your mind. Important: you can only visit with authorized tour operators to protect the ecosystem. Book at least a week in advance because this experience sells out constantly. Location number 7. Sun Bay Beach, Vieques. Number 7 connects to that cliffhanger I just mentioned. Sun Bay Beach, also on Vieques Island, but here's the mind-blowing part. You can visit the bioluminescent bay at night and wake up at this pristine beach the next morning. This is what I call travel hacking paradise. Most tourists fly back to the main island after the Bio Bay tour. But smart travelers? They stay overnight and discover that Vieques has some of the most untouched beaches in the Caribbean. Sun Bay Beach feels like your own private movie set. 3 miles of golden sand, calm waters perfect for swimming, and here's my favorite part: wild horses. Yes, actual wild horses roam this beach. I was eating breakfast, minding my own business, when this magnificent horse just walked up and stared at me. We had this moment. I swear it was judging my mainland breakfast choices. Stay at one of the guest houses in Esperanza Village. It's budget-friendly and puts you walking distance from multiple incredible beaches. Plus, the local restaurant scene will ruin you for Caribbean food anywhere else. Location number 6. Camuy Caves. Halfway through our list at number 6, and we're going underground. The Camuy Cave system, one of the largest cave networks in the world, and most people have never heard of it. Imagine descending 400 feet into the earth, walking through cathedral-sized caverns carved by underground rivers over millions of years. The formations are so incredible, so otherworldly, that NASA actually used these caves to train astronauts. Full confession: I'm slightly claustrophobic. When our guide announced we'd be exploring chambers 800 feet underground, I almost backed out. But sometimes the best experiences happen when you face your fears. Standing in the cathedral room, looking up at stalactites that took thousands of years to form, feeling completely insignificant in the best possible way, it was a spiritual experience. Even my claustrophobia disappeared. Here's what makes this extra special. You can hear the underground river that's still carving new passages. It's like listening to the Earth's heartbeat. Drop a comment if you've ever conquered a fear while traveling. I read every single comment and love hearing your stories. Location number 5. Isla Verde Beach. Number 5 might surprise you because it's technically in San Juan, but Isla Verde Beach represents everything perfect about Puerto Rican beaches, with an urban twist that creates magic. Everyone tells you to escape San Juan for the real beaches. They're wrong. Isla Verde gives you pristine Caribbean water, perfect sand, and the best food scene in Puerto Rico within walking distance. Here's what happened. I spent the entire day beach hopping, working up an appetite, and just as the sun was setting, I discovered a row of food trucks that changed my life. We're talking about mofongo that would make your grandmother weep, fresh ceviche that tastes like the ocean itself, and plantains prepared in ways I didn't know existed. Picture this. Your toes in warm sand, a fresh coconut in your hand, salsa music drifting from nearby bars, and the sun painting the sky in colors that don't have names. This is what vacation dreams are made of. Pro tip: stay near Isla Verde if you want beach access and nightlife. It's the perfect base camp for exploring the rest of the island while having a safety net of amazing restaurants and bars. Location number 4. Cueva Ventana. Number 4 is where things get really interesting. Cueva Ventana. Literally, window cave, and when you see why it's called that, your Instagram followers will think you hired a professional photographer. You hike through what seems like an ordinary cave for about 20 minutes. It's interesting, sure, but nothing too special. Then your guide stops at what looks like just another cave wall and says, "Are you ready for the window?" And then, they lead you to this opening in the rock, and suddenly you're looking out at the entire Arecibo Valley from 700 feet up. It's like the earth opened up to show you a secret. I'm not ashamed to admit I got emotional. Sometimes nature creates something so perfect, so unexpectedly beautiful, that it reminds you why we travel. This was one of those moments. Here's the shot everyone wants but doesn't know how to get. Sit in the cave opening with your legs dangling out, looking toward the valley. The contrast between the dark cave and the bright landscape creates an epic silhouette. Just don't drop your phone, it's a long way down. Have you ever been somewhere that made you emotional just from its beauty? Share your story in the comments. Location number 3. Old San Juan. Number 3 brings us back to where most people start, Old San Juan. But I'm going to show you the side that 90% of tourists never see. Everyone visits Old San Juan. The colorful buildings, the forts, the cobblestone streets, it's beautiful, it's historic, it's crowded. But what if I told you there's a way to experience Old San Juan like a local, away from the cruise ship crowds? Here's what locals know. Visit at sunrise. I'm talking 6 a.m., when the city belongs to the people who live there. The light hitting those colonial buildings creates photography magic, and you'll have entire streets to yourself. At 6:15 a.m., I met Maria, a woman who's lived in Old San Juan for 60 years. She invited me for coffee and told me stories about these streets that no guidebook contains. That conversation taught me more about Puerto Rican culture than any museum ever could. The secret spots in Old San Juan. The hidden garden behind Casablanca, the best viewpoint that requires climbing 200 steps, the local bakery that opens at 5 a.m. and sells out by 8 a.m. This is what I love about travel. The famous places become truly special when you experience them authentically. Location number 2. Laguna Grande Kayaking. Number 2 is going to test your adventure limits, and I promise it's worth every challenging moment. Laguna Grande in Fajardo, a mangrove forest that leads to another bioluminescent lagoon, but this one you have to earn. 2 hours of kayaking through narrow mangrove channels in complete darkness. Your arms will burn, you might get lost, and there's a decent chance you'll paddle in circles at least once. But what waits at the end? When you finally reach the lagoon and see that blue glow for the second time, but this time after working for it, the experience hits differently. It's not just beautiful, it's an accomplishment. I won't lie to you, halfway through, I wanted to quit. My shoulders were screaming, I'd already bonked my head on a mangrove branch twice, and I was questioning my life choices. But my guide said something that stuck with me. The best experiences require the best efforts. That applies to so much more than just travel, doesn't it? The things we work hardest for become the memories we treasure most. If this video is inspiring your next adventure, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We're building a community of travelers who choose experiences over comfort zones. Location number 1. Mosquito Pier and AMP, Playa Negra, Vieques. And our number 1 spot. This is the place I mentioned at the beginning that made me question everything I thought I knew about paradise. Mosquito Pier and Playa Negra on Vieques Island. This isn't just a beach. This is where the Caribbean Sea meets volcanic black sand, creating a landscape so unique, so otherworldly, that it belongs on another planet. But here's the really special part, it's completely undeveloped. No hotels, no restaurants, no crowds. Just you and one of the most unique beaches on Earth. Standing on black sand, watching turquoise waves crash, with wild horses in the distance and not another soul in sight. This is the moment I understood why I travel. This is the moment that makes all the planning, all the early mornings, all the uncomfortable bus rides worth it. Sometimes we chase the most popular destinations thinking that's where we'll find magic. But the real magic? It's in places like this, where nature does something so unexpected that it reminds you the world is still full of surprises. And there you have it, 10 places in Puerto Rico that will completely transform your idea of Caribbean travel. From glowing waters to secret waterfalls, from underground cathedrals to beaches that look like alien worlds. But here's what I really hope you take from this video. The best travel experiences aren't always the most famous ones. Sometimes the most incredible places are hiding in plain sight, waiting for travelers curious enough to look beyond the obvious. Now, your turn. Which of these 10 places are you adding to your bucket list? Drop a comment and let me know. And remember, the most creative comment gets my complete Puerto Rico travel guide. I'll announce the winner in next week's video. If you loved discovering these hidden gems, you'll love what's coming next. I'm heading to Colombia next month to uncover places that will make Puerto Rico look ordinary. Subscribe and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any adventures. And don't forget, I put together a complete Puerto Rico itinerary with exact locations, travel tips, and budget breakdowns. The link is in the description below. Over 10,000 of you have already used my travel guides to plan epic adventures. Don't let analysis paralysis keep you from experiencing these incredible places. Until next week, keep exploring, keep discovering, and remember, the world is way more incredible than you think. Peace.